Good morning and welcome to another edition of Canopy and Coffee with Ramona Melvin in your Asheville, Weaverville, Hendersonville real estate area. And I'm going to dive right into a conversation with some new clients who are intending to sell. I'm going to show you that we're on the database, the Realtor Association database, the Canopy area for my membership. And my map area, I've gone looking for closed homes in the last 90 days, single family, between the price range of $300,000 and $400,000. I know the client's house is a 3-2 and it's in Asheville, and I'm going to pause there because I only get 5 matches. And so back to, okay, I take it back. I got more than 5 matches, but this was the map location similar to what the client's home area is in. So let's take a look at what's sold, because it's not a matter of what you think your home is worth, but a matter of what is the buyer going to pay for it. Do you want to price your home to sell, or do you want to price your home to sit? I'm here to sell it for you. So that said, we're going to take a good look. I'm learning, here's who sold in the last 90 days, 3 months. Your average time from going under contract to closing is 45 to 60 days. And so a good look into the 90 days is helpful. Now, I notice, looks like we don't have a refrigerator, may not be conveying with this home. That's something to consider. In the minutia of details, I'm helping my client decide their price. But I believe that's a Formica countertop. I'm not inside it, but that's a cuter kitchen for sure. But not, not the latest and greatest carpet in the bedrooms, but they look nice and clean. The home certainly looks like it showed well, presented well. That's what matters. You got to show that you've cared for a home. And the buyer goes, yeah, I'd love to take it too. So this was a 1,300 square foot home built in 1990. It has carpet and vinyl plank floors. It's on a crawl space. It's in the Hawk Creek community, which is just a fun, established neighborhood for a lot of our Ashevilleans. And, wait a minute, let me just make the point. It's went on market for $387,500. And that's where it started. And it sold for $362,000. Right there's the History Channel on it. And no additional concessions. So that was priced pretty well. They had to take, $15,000, $1,550 in price adjustment in order to sell. But that's what the buyer said, I'm willing to pay. And the seller said, yes, I'll sell it. All right, onward. This is a little brick ranch. These are very indicative of that neighborhood. Cute little creek going through the yard. Okay. Something to consider if you care. Buying a house like this, this you can see it probably when Helene was around and some major events are happening, the water may have come all the way up here. You could ask more about that. If this had been a home you were interested in, of course, to buy. It's supposed to have told you if it had any damage. Very comparable to the last home, except this one is a brick and the other one was a vinyl siding home. And there's a difference in value there, maybe. For sure, not maybe. There is a difference in value. Okay. Again, the home looks well cared for. Nice, additions to it. So this one started at $359,000 and was under contract after a slight price adjustment, closed for $349,000 and an additional $15,000 in seller paid closing costs. Now that does not show up on Zillow or any of your third-party syndicating sites. That's why they're not as accurate as we are. Thank you for the shameless plug for realtors, Ramona. All right, onward, another one in the same area, another brick ranch. And again, oops, what'd you do that for? Taking a quick gander. Yeah. I mean, you'll see it's got the, the baseboard venting. If we did a deep dive to learn more about how old is the home's roof, HVAC systems, that kind of thing. This kitchen is cute. It's got a lot of charm to it. Maybe a little higher finish at the end than the other ones were. Got a little powder room off of the bathroom, off the kitchen. A lot of people do appreciate that. It's easy enough if you're not liking a paint color to fix that. This is an original bathroom with an upgrade over here. That's definitely the original tub, but it's cast iron and it'd hurt if you kicked it with your toe, which also back to that's probably the original tile, but it all looks in good shape. Maybe it was updone, redone, but it does look tight and clean. Oh, I love when they've got a basement. So a home with a basement would have more value than a home with a crawl space, because even though you can't really, you can close this in and make it more conditioned, but the ceiling height is obviously very low. You can see that by the door and window clearance there. All right, nice homes. So she came on the market. Sorry, I do that gender thing. At $400,000 and sold at $395,000. So these guys have been pricing their homes well. They're doing a good job with the pricing. There was an additional concession of $2,000 for that, which then would make it technically $393,000. Sold. Okay, this one I wouldn't conclude because of the acreage. This has got 2.2 acres on it. It's a 1975 home. Kind of fun though, just to show you. This is called live edge siding. It's a wood exterior. When you buy a home with wood exterior, you have a whole nother level of maintenance that you must pay attention to. Otherwise, your wood pests will come in and damage it. And this guy sold pretty quickly. And again, it's on 2.1 acres. So somebody got some acreage on it. And it is up off, oh look, there's the Blue Ridge Parkway. So this is right where it was located. That's this will always be, you'll have the road traffic that goes 35, 40 miles an hour, but it can't get developed ever, right in the backyard. So that's certainly been some added value for that. But I wouldn't keep it on the comp for my seller, who's going to be selling closer to those brick ranch homes that we've already been looking at. And here comes the final one on my closed list. Again, all of these are right in about the same square footage size. I'm jumping around, I know. Let me go here so I can show you what I do. I'm trying to be mindful of my time. Oh, that's cool. It's got a view. Now wait, let me show you something about views, because right now there's no leaf on the tree. This was taken obviously back in the winter. When this leaf's in, that of course would fill in. You wouldn't see that house so much. It would also kind of fill in and make a very private area here. I'm not sure that you'd have control of your tree line. If you wanted a bigger view, you would have to check on that during your due diligence time. Fun little sun porch I can see out there. This kitchen, all of these homes, the last four were, they're all good comps. These are great comps for my building a price range and a market value that I would recommend to a client. Oh, that's so curious. Where's the toilet seat and why did they let that go? But it sold without the toilet seat. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. Yep. Nice private area. This is a very private yard. If client's saying, I want to be near it all, but I want to feel like I'm in the country, this is that area, the Haw Creek area. We're over here on the east side of town. The VA hospital is over on one of those roads there. And so all of this is maybe 15 minutes from all of Asheville. All of Asheville. Very convenient location. So that's great. That shows me who sold and how at this price range between $300,000 and $400,000 for a 3-2 bedroom in Asheville, single family. Now I can play all kinds of stuff and I can see, all right, well, who would her competition be? And at the moment, who is active? I'm only getting 2 matches. Let's go see who that is. This is a newer home built in 2009. Same square footage and lot size, very similar. This one has the open floor. It's got combination of wood and carpet. So I do a combination of showing what closed recently, because that's where the appraiser and the market value numbers are hard, and actually that's kind of the science. And then you also must pay attention to the competition and take a really good look at who's on market around. What are they adding as a value? Why are they or not selling? Because let's see, this one's been on the market for 92 days. So that's a long hold, I would imagine, for most sellers. But I would carry on and let me look at the next one, because that one is a little newer in its finish and everything. So, but it's competition in the same price range. Point is, if a buyer wants to buy it for under 400, they may pick that one over this one, for example. So back to the little brick ranches. This one, yeah, so it's got the galley kitchen, which isn't as popular. I can see that, you know, it's a little older home, and it's showing it's an older home. It's really showing that it's, oh, that's fun. I haven't seen that. Okay. It's good. This is good to see my competition. My apologies for that. And, okay, so here's some of that original bathroom. It didn't get the updo with the vanity. And this might be something that's really, so this is where the rubber can meet the road on a lot of homes, is, you know, what's going on underneath the home, and how is it feeling healthy or not. Back to, if you've got a well cared for home, it will sell. It will sell. All right, this one also sitting for 81 days on the market. And so those are my competition. Now let's see who performed. Okay, who in the last 90, because that's the date range I put it at, has been gone under contract either way, for a show or a no-show scenario. These are all great comps for me to be watching. So in other words, this house went under contract. It was on for a long time, so it must have taken some price adjustments. Oh yes, so it started at $415,000. It went under contract, came out of contract. There's a challenge always. It does stigmatize a home. It doesn't always mean there's a problem with the home, but it often stigmatizes a buyer's perspective of the home after that's happened to it. So it started at $415, and it is under contract at, the list price is $360. We don't know what it's under contract at yet until it closes, and that's again why this isn't hard data that an appraiser uses, but it is data that I am using to help my client understand buyer behavior today in the Asheville market. So they've got some, you know, newer flooring in here, some newer colorway, some newer bathroom. The more updated a home is, absolutely will help it to sell. Right now, buyers are not happy. I should say they're just not jumping on fixer-uppers. You'll get your investors jumping on fixer-uppers, but your regular home buyers are not wanting to take on that project right now, generally speaking. So those are the two that are under contract. And with that, I would put all of these, I haven't been doing it, but I would put all of these into a cart. I would create this cart, and I would name it something, but since I already have lots, I could, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. All right. So I'm just going to pivot because that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to go back to my map. And again, you can see this is the area that I was focusing on in order to get a very hyper-local view of the market. Obviously, Asheville goes, we've got all of this area over here, which certainly could have matched plenty of homes on this. But for the moment, I had enough data. I wanted to keep it very local for my client so that I could create a report for them and say, this is what you can expect today if you want to sell your house. Again, call me. Let me help you sell your house. I don't want to price it to sit. I want to price it to sell. And with that, meet me again for another edition of Coffee and Canopy. Have a great day.